Terrence Bud Crawford wants to make the Spence fight in the UK. Now, you got to be careful when it comes to these things because titles tend to throw us off because you got to keep in mind they got to make it attractive for you to read. So correction is Terrence Crawford said he was open for them fighting in the UK. So basically he tossed around the idea of it. Nothing that's definite or this is what he wants to do because, you know, I hear all the talking and the chatter now. But let's talk about the idea of Errol Spence and Terrence Bud Crawford being in the UK and how Terrence Bud Crawford takes to that. In my honest opinion, it'd be a smart move. Why not? I agree with Terrence Crawford on the grounds of the fact that UK are bigger boxing supporters. It's true. Why not take one of the biggest fights in boxing to a place where people actually appreciates boxing, and that's in the UK. The UK is the new mecca of boxing, whether people like it or not. They really appreciate and adore the sport, and it's one of the top sports over there versus being in the US. Boxing gets killed by football, basketball, and everything else gets killed. And let's face it, boxing in America is not supported like that. And it's messed up to say, but boxing is really not supported in America because of the division in America. The problem with boxing in America is that there's too many black champions. And in America, we're so messed up over here. We're so color struck over here that we won't want to support our fighters if they don't look a certain way. This is America. So yeah, when you go over in the UK, not saying that they are above, you know what I'm saying, their issues, but it's less prominent with them. They're more concerned with the pride of their country and supporting their countrymen more than if their countrymen that's representing them actually looks like them. So it's more of a pure boxing country, you know, and they'll get behind you and they don't have those little differences that America has over here, because America won't support boxing simply because, to be honest with you, it's not enough white faces behind it. You know, it's messed up to say, but it's the truth. You know, over in the UK, they don't really operate like that. You know, they just care about you putting on their country. They don't really care like that. So why not take one of the best fights in boxing to a place where people actually appreciate boxing? That makes sense to me. You know, it's not a dumb idea. It actually makes a lot of sense on a lot of levels, you know? So I wouldn't mind it. Would that cut out some of the Americans being able to see the fight live? Yeah, but go ahead. Who cares about Americans? They barely pile in there to support it any damn way. And this is the thing that people like Eddie Hearn was talking about. Like it's not as big as you think. And I finally had to come to the grips that what he's saying is somewhat correct, because I learned this through talking to the boxing fans, particularly the Errol Spence boxing fans. A lot of them don't really know boxing. They really don't. Just talk with them a little bit. You'll figure that out quick, fast, and in a hurry. They're involved in the boxing part as long as basically the online participation in boxing. Basically, people just want something to hate or gang up against somebody. I literally think that the majority of these fans are only interested in these fights for the back and forth between people, between fans. They really don't care about the fight. And you know that because if they did, they would be screaming the same thing that you screaming. I want to see these fights. Instead, they seem to stand on the fence of not wanting to see the fight and talking shit versus wanting to see the fight. You know, they just want the shit talking. They just want the shit show. They just want to say, these people over here are like this, A, B, and C. It's a lot of bickering over here in the US and no action. You know, and people only participate in the boxing event or the boxing match for the bickering. But for the full-fledged rollout, you know what I'm saying, top to bottom, venue, fight, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff, they don't participate in that, but they participate in the beef online. So I get what Eddie Hearn is talking about. And yeah, a lot of that, what you see online, it doesn't transfer into ticket sales or even pay-per-view buys. I get it. So why not take it to a place where they're not going to mind, where they value the sport, where they value the boxer no matter what they look like? You know, why not take it there? To me, it makes sense. You know, if that's what they want to do, take a good classic fight to a place that's going to appreciate a good classic legendary fight, because it's not appreciated over here in America. That's why America has fell off like it did in the sport of boxing in the first place. And let's be honest, the main people who's been keeping boxing alive and sparking interest in boxing and getting the momentum rolling in boxing has been on the UK side of things. In all honesty, I don't care who don't like it. That's the truth. They really have been leading the charge in keeping this sport moving. It has not been the US. So I wouldn't be against that. I don't think it's a bad idea, you know, and I wouldn't worry about the Americans I shut out, because Americans don't appreciate the sport like they're supposed to anyway. And we are the king of this sport. And yet we don't support people from our own country. So I'm with it if they want to do it. To me, I think it's smart and whatever and whatnot. It's more likely it never happened because Al Heyman doesn't do anything where he doesn't have total control over it. And there he would be more dependent on, you know, the people operating over there to get the stuff done. And I just don't see this stuff happening. But it is a good idea. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Bruce Vane, I'm out.